Hello and welcome to the tutorial 5 in the textbook. It's our second one for ITECH 150, however. This is just a quick review. I'm just going to kind of go over a few of the tools and things that you'll want to have back kind of like in the forefront of your brain as we move into some more advanced features and tools that you can use in spreadsheets. So here's a tutorial. The video is going to be right here. I'm not actually posting a screenshotted tutorial. It'll just be the video, so you can follow. You can download the file or copy the file to your drive and then follow along in the video. Pause is necessary. So the video tutorial will be right here. You'll see it because, I don't see it because I'm literally recording it right now. So open in a new tab. You won't be able to edit this, so you'll have to hit make a copy. And then I will copy it. Yeah, this is a good place for it. I'm going to call it Sheets Review. I'm actually going to change the name of this real quick. I'm doing this live. I'm like editing this thing. Sheets Review. Let's call it Sheets Review Start. I don't think that changes the file identifier. I think that stays the same, so that's what you will see when you click on it. So I'll close that. Here's my new one, my working one. So this is what we're going to do. There's basically two sheets with some exercises, and linking in Sheets is kind of cool. You can actually create little links that go back and forth between. I'll show you how to do that in an upcoming tutorial, how you can make kind of multi-purpose pages with links to other pages. Okay, so the first thing that we want to play with is you really need to remember the fill handle because it is the most crucial tool. It's kind of the thing that makes spreadsheets do what you want. You can input formulas all day long, but the idea is if you have to do it over and over and over again, there's opportunity for error. So we want to find a way to only have to input things like formulas in long tables once and then copy it and get it to fill in the rest of a column or a row for free. But, as it turns out, you can use the fill handle to do other things. And so for the first one, just what we want to do is just demonstrate that we understand how the fill handle works to continue patterns. So here I have two cells with a 5 and a 10. And the idea is if you select both of them, the 5 and the 10, and then use the fill handle, it'll actually kind of extrapolate from the pattern that is already established here, 5, 10, counting by 5s, and continue doing that if you drag the fill handle down. It does the same thing with months of the year. You can go boom, and even things as like complicated as some text followed by a number. It will automatically increment the number on there. So you can do like quarter 1, quarter 2, period 1, period 2, whatever. Like literally any word with a number after it, and then copy and paste it down with the fill handle, and it will actually automatically increment that number. It's really cool. I believe you can even do, even just start with 1, and it will copy that down. So you don't have to do that part. I'll delete it, but it's something you can do. It'll also do months of the year and days of the week. So if we go here and go down to like, I don't know, row 24 or something, I guess it'd be row 25. You can do the whole year in months. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. There's a whole week's worth of days. So you can actually create like a weekly schedule and only have to spell out Sunday. And you can start on any day of the week. You can start on Monday and it'll just automatically go to the next one. If you wanted to do like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule, you'd have to be a little bit more creative, and I can show you guys in a later tutorial how to do something like that. Here we go. So formulas. This is another thing that is a little bit different in Sheets than it was in Excel. Excel had a tool called the auto sum tool. We don't have that, but we have something that's close. So you can go in and you can hit the Sigma tool and grab the sum, but it won't automatically fill in the parentheses. It won't figure out which ones it is. For some reason, doing it with a column you can't do what I'm about to show you, but you can do this. So you can just select the cells that you want to add together, hit enter, and it works. But check this out. You can, this is something I just discovered. If I type in equals sum without a parentheses, it actually automatically predicts that I want to do this. I don't know why it only works in rows and doesn't work in columns, but it does work in rows. If I hit enter now, it'll automatically add the parentheses and the right parameter, and if I hit enter again, it'll just do the result. So that's actually pretty slick. Just kind of like repeat it. Equals sum, just the word sum without the parentheses. It kind of predicts what it is that you're trying to sum together. Again, I have no idea why it works in rows and not columns, but it does work in rows, and that's as good as we're going to be able to get, I guess. They'll probably update it at some point so that it'll work in columns. So here, you just want to use the fill handle to fill in the rest. So I can drag that down. I can select this one and drag it over and fill in the whole thing. So when using the fill handle, remember it's the little blue dot at the bottom right corner, and when you're mousing over it correctly, your cursor, your pointer will turn into like a crosshair. So that's the kind of the visual cue. This one is kind of this one might be a refresher from one of the old tutorials that we did back in ITECH 100. What we want to be able to do is fill in this table with the correct data. The total row was different, so we're just going to do these three. So we have 4 people, and we want to multiply. So this one right here multiplies their hours worked by their pay rate to get this number, and then multiply the gross pay by the tax rate to get this number, and then subtract that taxes from the gross pay to get net pay. So that's all this first row is doing. So this is largely done for you. But if you copy it down, these ones all end up being 0 because copy it down once, it'll go to the cell below it. Copy it down another time, go to the cell below it. And if you guys remember how to fix this, right here, it's looking at cell E41, which is this guy right here, and then it's multiplying it by this one, F47. And so what we want to do is we want to turn F47 into an absolute reference. All this stuff over here, I think, is a remnant from when I copied this thing over from Excel. So we can actually delete that, and it'll still be fine. So equals E41 times F47, just to make the formula a little bit clearer and less confusing. So here, F47 is this cell. That's the one that we want to always be the right cell. So we want it to always be cell F47. And the one way you can do it is just stick a $sign in here before the F and before the 47. But the hotkey to do that is the F4 key on your keyboard. You hit that, it automatically inserts those. Then you hit enter, and now when I do this fill handle, it'll automatically do that. These will get updated correctly, and everything is good. For these bottom ones, you just want to do a sum, and then go away. So I can select these guys, select that to get our sum, and then we'll drag that over to fill in the rest of the totals, and that looks good. Here we want to do some quick, just playing around with some basic functions. Now this is actually really nice in Google Sheets because of the way these functions work, and maybe this explains why they don't have the auto sum thing anymore, is so that you can do what we're about to do. So if I want the sum of these 4 numbers, I just click on the sum function and highlight those numbers and hit enter. If I want the average, I can do that. You would not be able to do this with the auto sum feature in Excel because it wouldn't detect the correct cells. So I want the min, I just select min and then highlight the cells. For the max, I just use the max function and then this one. Today's date, there's actually, you could type in today's date, but that's not what I want you to do. I want you to use the function that does it. This will always play today's date if you type in the word equals and then today and then hit enter. And notice, always functions always have parentheses. Even if there's no parameters that it takes, it still needs the parentheses. It's just how the syntax works. It's expecting them, and if they're not there, it'll automatically put them in. So you can just type equals today and hit enter twice, and it'll work. So that's the main one. So that's today's date. so now you know what day I recorded this. Charting is the other tab, so you can actually you could click on these links. This one goes back to the main sheet, and then you can go here and go to the charting sheet. I don't know, it's cool. I like the links; they're neat. So charting, this one we want column graph. So we're gonna do. All you have to do is select the data. These 6 cells and no other cells. Go up to here, insert chart, and it will create our chart. It's gonna mine. I don't know. Sometimes it's not always the same, but mine automatically assumed I wanted a line, which is silly. I don't want a line. I want a column chart. I don't know. Maybe it's not that unreasonable that it would be expecting a line, but we want to do a line. And then you can kind of like get these to sort of fit in these areas that I've predetermined. Make them look kind of nice. Here we want a clustered bar graph, which means that the bars go to the side. So column charts have the columns vertical, and in bar graphs it has them horizontal. So this one's easy. We just highlight all this data, go to insert a chart, and then it says column. We're going to just change that out for a bar, just so that you can see how it's done. So clustered column, stacked column, clustered bar graph. And we'll make it a little bit smaller so that it fits in this area. Kind of that I've set aside for it. So it's kind of cool. You see marketing, overhead, R&D, and you can see all the how the columns work all together. It's kind of fun. A scatter plot. This is actually probably the most boring one. We just have 2 variables, x and y, and then some values that are kind of correlated with each other. So we'll just do insert chart. We'll go down here and select a scatter plot instead of any of the other ones, and it'll just say y versus x, and then we'll make it smaller. It's a linear function that generated these numbers, so it's not particularly exciting looking, but you know, this is just for demonstration and review purposes. This is how you would create a scatter plot. The last one is going to ask you to create a pie chart. I'm going to leave this one for you. So you're going to want to do it. It's not too terribly hard. You just need to fill in this column, and then you want a pie chart that includes these labels and these total numbers. And so I'm going to leave that to you. Once you have completed it, submit this to Canvas as normal. And we'll see you next time.